Uncle Gold Clips.
You have to kind of pinch yourself and remember, nobody else is doing this. No other rocket launch in the world, with the exception of some tourist flights that haven't even had people on them yet from another company called Blue Origin, which is actually older than SpaceX, has had some of the same ideas as SpaceX, but has been much slower to execute.
Hmm.
That's the one run by Jeff Bezos, or as Elon Musk calls him, Jeff who? So
The level of disrespect.
I know.
Let's go there for a second. Who are the main SpaceX is not the only company that's trying to bring us into space.
Yeah.
What are the main competitors? Can you go a little bit into that? What are the other companies? What are they doing? And can you kind of compare them a little bit to SpaceX? Are they keeping up? Are they doing something similar? And what's their story?
Huh. Keeping up, in short, no. No, nobody is keeping up. So I mentioned ULA earlier on. They're the sort of the old guard. Um, they are still launching the same rockets that they were launching back in 2002 when they booted
Mhm.
SpaceX out of
So
Vandenberg.
that was Boeing, and the second company was
Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin. Hmm.
Yeah, so those are real old guard space companies. They've been around since well before the Apollo era, and they both worked on Apollo space shuttle and everything in between.
Hmm.
All of the Voyager space probes, any basically every space probe that was launched from America has been launched on either a Lockheed Martin or a Boeing rocket.
Okay.
Mainly because the companies kept on merging all the way through the years. But the Titan, the Atlas, the Delta rockets, all of those are theirs. Um, and then you have Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos' company, founded the year before SpaceX, has, I think, like maybe 12 launches of a rocket that can't reach orbit under its belt.
Mm.
Now they have ambitions to do a rocket called New Glenn, which may be close to completion. It's hard to tell because they're very secretive. At one point, they would do launches of their space tourism rocket called the New Shepard, and they wouldn't tell anybody about it until after the launch. They'd be like,
Mm.
"Oh, Blue Origin, we launched yesterday. Here's the video." And it was like, why are you not hyping this up more? It's
Yeah.
really cool stuff that you're doing. But yeah, so New Glenn is under construction at the moment. That will be a 7 meter wide rocket, very similar to the Falcon 9, except that it runs on methane and is a bit bigger. So that will be exciting to see if and when it ever appears. They have a big factory at Cape Canaveral, and they've shown pictures of the fairing and a few other things. Fairing being the protective cover on the payload,
Hmm.
but it's not exciting following Blue Origin because they don't share anything. It's all
Okay.
very secretive. Uh, who else then? I don't think you could call them competitors as such, but there are other companies in the field who are exciting. There's Virgin have actually two companies. There's Virgin Galactic, which is another space tourism effort, and that's using a kind of a novel system where they launch an aircraft and then launch a aircraft slash rocket from under that aircraft,
Ah.
and that will give you about 6 minutes of weightlessness for a crew cabin capable of holding, I think, 6 people. And so that's purely a tourism thing at the moment. It's 200 odd thousand dollars per ticket on this. They have demonstrated its capability about twice, I think, um, in actual suborbital flights.
Hmm.
And technically, they don't actually get to space. They get to like 99 kilometers above the surface, and the line for space is 100 kilometers. So they're within touching distance, and then they fall back down.
Hmm.
But during the fall, you have zero gravity, and if you look at the windows, it looks quite like space because there's basically no atmosphere around you.
Yeah.
And that could be, well, no, that would be amazing. It'd be incredible fun. Um, but it's not getting you to space. Now, I
Hmm.
think they have ambitions to do point to point transport on Earth, um, which if you launch anything suborbitally, from one continent to another, it is technically an intercontinental ballistic missile.
Okay.
You just don't have to put nuclear weapons on it. You could put people in it and have it land instead of impact. And actually, that's one of the things that SpaceX is aiming to do as
Will
well.
people make jokes and say like I traveled by nuke?
Maybe ICBM for sure. Yeah, today today I was an ICBM. Um, but there's other companies in the field. There's like a sort of a mini SpaceX
Hmm.
who are a lot of fun called Rocket Lab. They're run by a dude named Peter Beck. They are a New Zealand of all places company,
Okay.
and they have this little carbon fiber rocket that has 9 engines on the bottom. It's very Falcon 90 in that it uses the same fuel. It looks very similar when it flies, but it's black, except when it ices up, it gets white on it. But it's it's incredible fun. And Peter Beck famously said that reuse, reusability wasn't a priority for them because their priority was manufacturing very cheaply, launching very cheaply. You can launch a payload on a Rocket Lab Electron rocket, as they call it, because it
Hmm.
has electric pumps in the rocket engines. You can launch a payload on that for $5 million, which is about a tenth the price of the Falcon 9, which is about a quarter the price of the nearest competitor.
Hmm.
And so Rocket Lab are a small rocket. They're about Falcon 1 size, so they're not directly competing with
Hmm.
SpaceX. So it's a nice kind of synergy there. And Peter Beck said reuse isn't a priority for us because we can do it cheaply enough, and reuse is really, really difficult to do. If I ever reuse a rocket, I will eat my hat. And then last year he tweeted out, I'm going to have to eat a hat. Because right now they are developing the capability to reuse the rockets. I believe their last flight, they had the rocket survive all the way down to the ocean and parachute soft landing, which is great. And their aim is to catch their rockets while descending under parachute using a helicopter with a big hook.
All right.
Yeah.
Creative.
But yeah, that'll be fun to see when it happens. It should be in a matter of weeks or months because I think their next flight is the one they intend to try it on.
Hmm.
But that's kind of it. There are a number of other smaller companies nipping at their heels, but nobody with rockets that are actually flying.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.